The most successful people aren't the ones working hardest. They're the ones working smartest. What if your laziness is actually your greatest strength? Let me show you why. Strategic laziness isn't about doing nothing. It's about directing your limited energy only toward what truly matters. The ambitious but lazy person doesn't avoid work. They avoid unnecessary work. They understand that energy, not time, is their most precious resource. This mindset shift is super important. Seeing laziness not as a character flaw, but as an efficiency driver that pushes you to find the path of least resistance to your goals. This perspective should change the way you look at life. Consider two people with the same goal: building a successful online business. Person A works 80 hours weekly on every aspect. Person B focuses only on high-impact activities, automating or eliminating the rest. 6 months later, Person B has built a sustainable system, while Person A is burning out, despite working twice as hard. It's not about effort, it's about leverage. By embracing strategic laziness, you'll accomplish more meaningful work while experiencing less stress and burnout. You'll stop confusing activity with accomplishment and start designing a system that works for you, not the other way around. We've all stayed late at work, only to realize we accomplished nothing truly important. We mistake busyness for productivity, wearing exhaustion as a badge of honor. The modern workplace celebrates the person who stays latest, not the one who accomplished most. This culture traps ambitious people in inefficient work patterns. Remember the last time you worked frantically all day, but couldn't name a single important thing you actually finished? We've all been there. It's funny how we'll spend 3 hours researching productivity hacks instead of just doing the actual work. Though sometimes that's because deep down, we know the work isn't worth doing in the first place. That's the ambitious but lazy superpower, sniffing out what's actually worth doing. Chapter 1. The 80-20 Rule, your new life philosophy. What if 80% of your efforts produce only 20% of your results? That means most of what you're doing right now is a spectacular waste of your time. The Pareto principle states that roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. Applied to your life, this means 80% of your results come from just 20% of your actions. This isn't just a theory, it's a universal law. By identifying your high-impact 20%, you can quadruple your effectiveness while eliminating low-value activities. The ambitious but lazy doesn't try to do everything better. They ruthlessly eliminate everything except what drives extraordinary results. Look at your last month of work. Which 20% of activities produce the most value? For a salesperson, it might be following up with qualified leads. For a creator, it's probably producing content, not endlessly tweaking your workspace. Once identified, double down on these activities and begin systematically eliminating or delegating the rest. When you apply the 80-20 rule consistently, you'll experience a profound shift. You'll accomplish more with less effort and wonder why you ever wasted time on low-impact tasks. Your definition of productivity will transform forever. We often feel accomplished after clearing our inbox or attending meetings, but these rarely move the needle on what really matters in our work and lives. Society celebrates completion of tasks rather than impact of results, leading most people to optimize for the wrong metrics in their lives and careers. Think about your most productive day ever. I bet it involved focusing deeply on just 1 or 2 high-impact activities, not checking off 20 small tasks. That's the 80-20 rule in action. I once spent an entire day organizing my digital files to be more productive, only to never look at 90% of them again. It's like cleaning your house before the robot vacuum arrives. Sometimes our productivity efforts are just busy work in disguise. Our laziness is trying to tell us something important if we'd only listen. Chapter 2. Decision minimization, preserving mental energy. Every decision you make drains your mental energy. What if you could eliminate 90% of decisions from your life and save that energy for what really matters? Decision fatigue silently sabotages your productivity. Research shows that willpower and decision-making deplete throughout the day like a muscle. This is why productivity hacks eventually fail. The ambitious but lazy creates decision frameworks, templates, and defaults that eliminate thousands of minor choices. By deciding once for recurring situations, you preserve mental energy for truly important decisions and creative work. Create a default schedule with predetermined time blocks for important work. Establish personal policies like, I don't take meetings before 11 a.m., or I always work on creative projects first. Simplify recurring decisions like meals and clothing. Each decision eliminated is mental energy, preserved for high-leverage thinking. These aren't minor tweaks, they're profound changes. By minimizing decisions, you'll maintain peak mental performance throughout the day. You'll break the cycle of starting strong but ending weak, and you'll consistently direct your best thinking to your most important work. By late afternoon, most of us struggle to decide what to eat for dinner, let alone make strategic decisions about our most important projects and goals. We celebrate people with strong willpower, when in reality, they've just designed better systems that require less willpower in the first place. Remember feeling mentally drained after a day of back-to-back decisions, even though you didn't do any physically demanding work? That's decision fatigue in action. I have exactly 5 nearly identical outfits for workdays. My friends think it's weird, but I think it's weird to waste brain power every morning deciding which fabric to put on your body when you could be thinking about literally anything else. The ambitious but lazy know that creativity should be reserved for what matters, not for figuring out if blue goes with khaki. Chapter 3. Environment Design Making Good Choices Effortless. Your environment will always beat your willpower. So, stop trying to be disciplined and start designing a world where the right choices are the easy choices. Willpower is overrated. Your environment, physical, digital, and social, shapes your behaviors more powerfully than intentions ever will. This is liberating. The ambitious but lazy doesn't fight against their natural tendencies. They design environments that make good behaviors inevitable and bad behaviors impossible. By reducing friction for important tasks and increasing friction for distractions, you create a world that pulls you toward your goals. Want to focus better? Put your phone in another room, not just on silent. Need to exercise more? Sleep in your workout clothes and put your shoes by the door. Each friction adjustment makes good choices the path of least resistance. Small changes to your environment lead to massive behavior changes. With strategic environment design, you'll stop battling yourself and feeling like a failure when willpower inevitably falters. You'll create sustainable systems that make continuous progress almost automatic, regardless of motivation. We've all set ambitious goals only to find our environments working against us. From phones that constantly interrupt focus, to kitchens full of temptations when trying to eat better. Our culture glorifies powering through difficult circumstances rather than intelligently redesigning those circumstances to support our goals. Think about how much easier it is to avoid eating junk food when it's not in your house versus when it's sitting right in front of you. That's environment design at work. I once tried to break my social media habit through sheer willpower. 2 hours later, I found myself mindlessly scrolling Instagram while literally reading a book about how to stop using social media. That's when I realized willpower is just a really expensive way to fail with extra steps. Chapter 4. Strategic Automation. Set it up once, benefit forever. What if you could do the work once, then have it automatically repeat forever? That's not lazy, that's genius.